star 1 hash for Daily Nation and star 550 star 5 hash for Business Daily on your mobile phone and get 50% discount on the e-paper. Yes, for just 20 shillings each, the truth will find you and more possibilities right where you are. Dial star 550 star 1 hash for Daily Nation and star 550 star 5 hash for Business Daily today. Terms and conditions apply.
Mumekaribishwa.
Asante.
Mujisikie mko nyumbani.
Huyu ni kama hajakula kitu.
Niko na njaa. Haya ngoja.
Ona. Hapa tunakula mzima mzima. Malenge.
Sizile ndio ungetupatia kuliko hii.
Ile ni ya wageni wangu wanakuja.
Lazima tuchore auntie. Bela lala.
Oi. Nini tena?
Liabu akifanya hivi unampatia kitu tamu.
Selector, bigger, tasty and healthy. And now Selector comes with free Choco Primo drinking chocolate for a limited period of time.
Ile utamu iko hapa, watafurahia sana.
The quietness of our homes as we enjoy living alone has become our new normal. The loving stories with our parents, a reminder of days gone by. And we have toys, food, phones, keys, and many other items and pieces of furniture that need cleaning to have a safe place. New Ace ready-to-use disinfectant contains hydrogen peroxide, which is an antimicrobial chemical disinfection and sterilization of all your surfaces safely and hygienically. Ace, we make your home feel brand new.
Jana ulipotea hivyo baada ya kupepa ule mtemu kwa potapota ukaenda hivi.
Unajua huyu mrembo alinipeleka hadi kwa nyumba. Nikasema mimi siedi kulalisha masikio. Shughuli.
Gawa mbona mjipendi?
Kwa nini?
Yaani unawezaje patana tu na mtu kwa street alafu uende ukachapiane naye?
Kalishizo mashine.
Ulitumia raba eh?
Kwani bado mnatumia raba?
Okay, ngoja niulize jamaa. Nani hapa hivi amepimwa hivi majuzi?
Pale kwa Mwangi. Si ni 10 bob.
Sijasema kupimwa weight. Saa hizi kupimwa HIV ni haraka na ni bure. Unaweza pimwa kwa clinic na bado unaweza jipimia kwa nyumba yako wewe mwenyewe na self test kit 500 peke yake.
Niende nipimwe, nichipate niko positive. Unajua hakuna kitu naogopa kama hiyo.
Kuko na madawa na kuko na counseling na utaishi maisha yako normal tu. Kuko na HIV si eti ni mwisho.
Wewe uko nayo?
Mimi nilishapima.
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya corona.
Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
Base Titanium Limited, located in Kwale County, operates Kenya's largest mine. The company invests in a variety of community livelihood enhancement programs whose legacy will outlast the life of the mining project. Access to clean running water remains a key need for residents of Kwale County. To empower communities in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, Base Titanium has donated and installed over 120 hand-washing units in high-traffic areas in Kwale County, including government and local administrative offices. Base Titanium is also supplying fresh water for domestic use to communities surrounding the mine site. Base Titanium is demonstrating its commitment to sustainable community development programs in Kwale County.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa, where you shop matters.
This is NTV.
Hello and welcome to NTV Tonight. We start the week with the coronavirus global numbers, and this is what it looks like. Around the world, the number of infections has hit the 8 million mark, with just over 8,055,000 cases. The death toll stands at 436,808. In Africa, there are 246,810 infections and 6,581 deaths. In the USA, 2.1 million people have the infection, while 117,951 have died from it. Now to our top stories of the day.
Night. COVID-19 pricks closer to the heart of government. 4 State House staff test positive as 133 others nationally add to the rising count. Also tonight, the judiciary reopens its doors to the public and tries to unlock the barriers between the judiciary and other arms of government.
They requested to see me this morning. It's just a courtesy call.
Plus,
kama mtu ataweza kujiokoa mwenyewe kulingana na yale ukweli ambayo iko pale.
It's your burden to bear. ODM leader now tells Waiguru ahead of her date with the Senate for her fate. And also tonight, the legions of women called to duty by COVID-19, making face masks for the remote villages of Laikipia North.
Nimejitolea kushona hii barakoa ili nisaidie community yetu kwa kutoambukizwa hii ugonjwa ya corona.
NTV Tonight with Smriti Vidyarthi.
Thanks for joining us. Flora Atieno is our sign language interpreter tonight. The government is now racing to control the coronavirus in its ranks after 4 members of State House staff tested positive for COVID-19. The discovery has prompted State House to ramp up its procedures to combat the virus and has rolled out stiffer access protocols for staff residing away from the premises. So spokesperson Kanze Dena, however, says the president and his family had not been infected. NTV's Jane Ngoiri begins our broadcast.
The coronavirus crisis has infiltrated one of the country's most secured buildings. 4 State House staff tested positive for the virus. State House spokesperson in a statement said the 4 cases were discovered during a mass testing that was conducted on Thursday. Now extra access protocols have been rolled out, especially for staff residing outside the compound and for visitors. The statement, however, allayed the country's fears, adding that the country's chief executive and his family are safe and sound. The infected officers are admitted at the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital in Samburu County, where they're undergoing treatment. State House says their families and close contacts have been traced and are being attended to accordingly. The House on the Hill has in the recent days been hosting a number of meetings attended by large crowds. This includes a Jubilee Party parliamentary group meeting where more than 100 people attended. In the meantime, ODM leader Raila Odinga, another high-ranking official, announced he had tested negative for the coronavirus.
It is actually in each and every person's interest that they should know their status in the war against this pandemic.
Odinga said he had accepted the results and he displayed his clearance certificate and urged Kenyans to adhere to MOH safety guidelines. Jane Ngoiri, NTV.
Elsewhere, the judiciary reopened its doors to the public, but to new changes it had effected to ensure safety against the coronavirus. NTV's Naoma Sampao reports on the new rules that court users will now be confined to.
The Milimani Law Courts, which is often a hive of activity, has in the past weeks been empty, but normalcy is slowly creeping in, just not the normal many were accustomed to. Tents to serve as makeshift courtrooms have been put up at the parking area. Each division of the court has its own tent, which is boldly labelled. On the benches, signs persuading court users to observe social distancing guidelines have also been put up. The patches of paintwork on the ground guided visitors to the court on how to keep a safe distance. Temperature checks at the gate were imperative. All visitors were required to provide personal details for ease of contact tracing. Hand washing stations had also been set up around the court premises. Courtrooms will now be admitting 15 people at a time, including the magistrate, members of staff, the defense and the prosecution, as well as the accused persons. Others have to wait in line on clearly marked sections within the court precincts.
Don't worry, we are going to allow. Sasa nyinyi ndio mtakuwa mnaingia ndani one by one, unaandikisha chini na unaelezwa kesi yako itakuja for mention siku fulani.
At the Bungoma Law Courts, the announcement that the courts will reopen attracted a huge crowd of residents seeking court services. Here, social distancing was just an idea. Some others were wearing their masks at half-mast.
Hapa Bungoma mahakamani naona shughuli si mzuri sana, kwa sababu nimeenda kwa mahakama zote open courts, nimeona kwamba zimearrangewa vizuri.
Either way, those who are allowed through the gates had to be taken through the new order as the court struggles to clear the mounting pile of cases while enforcing safety guidelines. Nayuma Sampao, NTV.
All right, now, our Chief Justice David Maraga today reached out to the Senate in what appears to be an effort to find a way out of the stalemate between the judiciary and the executive. And while the details of the discussions remain scanty, Maraga, who met the Senate Leader of Majority Samuel Pogisho and Minority Whip Irungu Kangata, said the discussions were centered on ways in which the two arms of government can work together more cordially. NTV's Silas Apollo with more.
After close to a week of wrangles between the executive and the judiciary, Chief Justice David Maraga today hosted the leadership of the Senate. The meeting, which was held at Maraga's office in the Supreme Court building, comes at a time when the judiciary and the executive were pulling even further apart. Maraga says the meeting was a courtesy call by the newly elected leadership of the Senate.
We have discussed quite a number of matters, how the judiciary can cooperate and work with the Senate. There are quite a number of matters that we work together.
Our matters were just directly Senate and the judiciary. We do not have issues dealing with matters that are executive.
But even though they divulged very little about what went on in private, the timing of the meeting was telling, given recent events where the Chief Justice and the Attorney General have faced off. Besides the failure by the President to appoint the 41 judges to the bench, Maraga has also accused the executive of interfering with the independence of the Judicial Service Commission, a department under the judiciary. The Kenya Human Rights Commission today said the stalemate between the judiciary and the executive was unhealthy and called on President Kenyatta to expedite the appointment of the judges to forestall a possible fallout.
It's a good thing to relate this way. We are beginning well. We want to begin our leadership with just understanding what are the issues so that when they come to Parliament, we are able to deal with things that we understand.
The wrangles between the two arms of government have partly been blamed on what some in the executive have termed as the activism within the judiciary, which has in most cases ruled against the government. It is also seen as a muscle-flexing contest after the Supreme Court nullified the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013, something the executive swore to revisit. Silas Apollo, NTV.
All right, let's take you back to the coronavirus tracker now, and 133 people tested positive for the virus today in the last 24 hours to bring the total number of cases to 3,727. The Ministry of Health is, however, worried about the number of asymptomatic cases that could escalate a flare-up of infections, and Bridget will bring us that story. But elsewhere, the coronavirus that spread from Wuhan to the world is said to have started at a food market. Now, the Ministry of Health fears that marketplaces are perfect incubators for the pathogens. Ruth Samwe visited Gikomba Market and paints a picture of why these concerns are valid.
Business is back to normal here at Gikomba Market, with vendors displaying their goods for sale. Majority of individuals have adhered to some of government directives, such as the wearing of masks, but the social distancing is still a challenge.
The jostle for customers and the bustle of the capital's busiest market continues as usual. The only outliers are the sea of face masks, some worn at half-mast. As the number of infections soar, precaution is seemingly the last thing on many minds.
Wameogopa sana mambo na corona wakati iliingia Kenya kama emergency. Lakini saa hii watu hata kunawa mkono unaona hawatirii maanani kama kitambo. Mambo na sanitizer alikuwa hajipaki sana.
Cashless transaction as a safety measure against the virus have also been hard to practice.
Watu wengine anakuambia anakutumia. Kumbe anataka kutumie kama kikoini ya 500 akutumie 500. Hata kutumia pamoja na 30 bob ya kutoa. Lakini inabidi mimi niambie mtu twende kwa M-Pesa. Twende unitolee hapo. Kuna hizi namba mtu anatumia, unajifanya umetuma kwa wrong number. Sasa unazichukua. Hiyo ndio shida ile tuko nayo. Tunakataaga kabisa.
The markets are fixtures in scores of the country's urban and rural centers and have been a source of an epidemic that has spread fear and exposed the risk that can spawn in places where such huge crowds converge.
Ni lazima watu wanafanya sanitizing, ni lazima watu wanaosha mikono, ukiingia huko ndani, ukienda kwa mama ambao anauza mboga ama kijana ambao anakuuzia makarot, uangalie ya kwamba kama yeye mwenyewe ako na mask, kama anakuambia utumie sanitizer.
In Kwale, the county has announced the reopening of the markets as they were shut down to stop the spread of the virus. And as the scope of the outbreak in the country still unfolds, China, that had declared victory over the virus, has had to once again shut down its large wholesale markets in Beijing after a sudden spike of coronavirus cases was traced to the markets. Ruth Sarmoi, NTV.
Politics now, and ODM leader Raila Odinga now says Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru will have to carry her own cross as he rebuffed claims that ODM senators had been instructed to save her when her impeachment case comes up before the Senate tomorrow. Well, it's now up to the Senate, but as NTV's Zainab Ismail reports, there are concerns about whether they will perform their constitutional responsibility or not.
Speaker of the Senate.
In less than 24 hours, Senate Majority Whip Irungu Kangata will table the proposed names of senators who will sit in a select committee to consider Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru's impeachment, and which senators will either endorse or reject in favor of a plenary.
Administration of oath.
And as she pegs her survival on the decision of the Senate, her last saving grace, ODM leader Raila Odinga now says he wants nothing to do with her troubles.
Mambo ya Senate ni ya waseneta. Na nimepinga waseneta wafanye kazi ambaye wamepewa jukumu kufanya kwa Wakenya. Kama mtu ataweza kujiokoa mwenyewe kulingana na yale ukweli ambayo yiko pale.
Odinga, who was denied meeting Waiguru to discuss plans to save her from the ouster, seemed to offer a rebuttal of what his allies claimed was his party's official stand.
Sisi kama chama ya ODM tutasimama na yeye kwa sababu sisi tunaamini uongozi ya wanawake.
The decision to form a select committee has divided parliament.
Isifanywe na watu ambao ni watu 11 select committee ambao watapewa milioni 1 ama 2.
Such assertions cast a shadow on the independence of Parliament as lawmakers either tear each other up or rally behind whichever political party interest.
Within the framework of Parliament and its existence and the politics that's always at play, and the role and the place of political parties within the affairs of a democratic system. Members of Parliament being independent is just aspirational, but it's not practical.
As it is, the politics of the handshake, the BBI and the 2022 succession could very well play into the outcome of the Senate.
The outcome of the senatorial proceedings on the impeachment of Governor Waiguru will depend on which place in the heart of President Kenyatta does Governor Waiguru hold, which place in the heart of Raila Odinga does Waiguru hold.
But what was perhaps the clearest manifestation of a lack of independence by Parliament as an arm of government was when President Kenyatta convened a Jubilee PG meeting for the purpose of changing Parliament's leadership. While non-alignment is key to ensure checks and balances, Parliament has often been criticized for aligning with the wishes of the executive. Zainab Ismail, NTV.
Are ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi and Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula the most in-demand politicians? Well, leaders allied to President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are said to be luring them to their side with promises of plum positions in the new proposed political structure. Those allied to the deputy president are also said to be making them post-2022 promises in the hope of forming a pre-election coalition. NTV's senior political reporter Kennedy Mureithi has more.
Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula may just be the most attractive politicians in the country at the moment. Politicians on either side of the political aisle have been keen to woo them both to their side and craft a team they hope will win in 2022. A team of Luhya political leaders led by Devolution CS Eugene Wamalwa and Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has been tasked with switch-talking the two into working with Uhuru and Raila.
Kuweza kuadvance agenda ya magharibi mwa Kenya, kuunganisha jamii zote ziishi kwa amani na kusukuma miradi ya maendeleo. Sisi tumesema tutafanya kazi na viongozi wote.
Niliambia wenzangu na nataka niseme hapa, mimi niko tayari kutoka kuongea na nyinyi mvuje hivi ama hili ndogo hii tuje pamoja.
The two had been tentatively crowned the community's spokespersons at a function attended by current and former members of parliament at Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli's home.
A handshake is for two people. That's what we are saying. Musalia and Wetangula are not part of a handshake.
But they have sent apologies. But the events that followed the meeting have unsettled both Mudavadi and Wetangula.
There are people out there who constantly have taken and arrogated themselves the barometer of measuring how well Musalia supports, how well Weta supports, without checking themselves.
What we are refusing is to be persuaded by the pistol on the table.
Wetangula has also been fighting for the control of his party as a section of leaders allied to the Uhuru-Raila axis planned the takeover.
This kind of shortcuts they're trying to take is a complete antithesis of democracy.
Deputy President William Ruto's side has also been actively courting Mudavadi and Wetangula and has on occasion sent MPs from the region allied to his cause as emissaries to rally them both to his side.
Honorable Wetangula is a lawyer. We will find out that in the government of William Ruto, which role can he best play as a distinguished lawyer in this country. Honorable Musalia Mudavadi is an economist. We will see which role can Musalia Mudavadi play using his experience as an economist for this country.
Mudavadi has been trying to shrug off the Luhya kingpin tag as he seeks to redefine himself as a national leader and seeks partnerships with other leaders from around the country. He has met former Gatanga MP and presidential hopeful Peter Kenneth, former Gishogo MP Martha Karua, and former head of civil service Sally Kosgei, in efforts that his handlers say are geared towards forming a new working relationship.
We will particularly focus on the unfolding character of governance
and of the political economy in the country.
Mudavadi and Wetangula, knowing that they were very much needed in the market right now, have been trying to galvanize ground support as they try to craft a team that will make sure that if they were to go into any coalition, then they will have the numbers from the Western region. Kennedy Muredi, NTV.
Time for a breather now, but before we do that, institutions around the world have had to somewhat downplay graduation ceremonies and opt for virtual graduations due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But one school in the USA is taking things a notch higher instead, and quite literally, have a look at this. Students from a New Hampshire high school took ski lifts to attend their graduation ceremony at the top of a local mountain. Since large numbers can no longer gather, the school came up with an imaginative way for students to graduate while maintaining social distancing. We take a break. We'll be back shortly.
The risk of illness-causing germs is increasing. It is believed that the coronavirus can remain on surfaces in your home for up to 9 days. Touching infected surfaces is one of the ways in which germs spread. Regularly disinfect your floors, countertops, and kitchen surfaces with bleach, and use an effective toilet cleaner inside and outside your toilet bowl. This message is brought to you by Medifacts, JIG, and Harpic.
Here we are, living in the moment, and here we are, dreaming in the open. Now look around, isn't this a new day? Make a move, doing things a new way, a new way. 'Cause this is our world, and this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human race, and we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't stop dreaming.
The future of our nation relies on your dreams and our steel. Tononoka Group, at the core of every construction.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
My whole life is in my phone.
The county government of Nyeri, with the approval of His Excellency Governor Mutahi Kahiga, has granted a 100% waiver of accrued interest sums on outstanding land rates effective 19th May 2020 to 19th June 2020. With a cashless system, obtain your invoice from respective sub-county offices and make payments through accounts held at Cooperative Bank or Kenya Commercial Bank, Nyeri branch, using account numbers on your screen, or M-Pesa Paybill 191900 and get your official receipt.
Explorers of the night, wale wase wa kuhustle usiku, kustreama movies, music mix diehards, and gaming fanatics. We've heard you. It is now your time to fly your flag high. Do what you love, mpaka che na Telkom. Join Usiku Sako with Telkom night bundles that allow you rule the night at prices you love. Join our tribe, Usiku Sako Squad. Just dial *544# from your Telkom line and select the night bundle of your dreams. You are the legend the night needs.
Do you honestly believe that she isn't Anna? Don't do anything until we know exactly what is happening.
There's nothing wrong with my wife resembling someone else. What's wrong is she's being accused of something.
What Anna did must be really horrible.
She's nothing but a traitor. He's provoking you. And she's a gold digger.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
Welcome back. Let's take you back to Bridget Ngana's story now. And remember that 133 people tested positive for the coronavirus in the last 24 hours. And that now brings the total number of cases to 3,727. And the Ministry of Health is worried about the number of asymptomatic cases that could cause a flare-up of infections. Bridget Ngana has more from Nyandarua.
Nyandarua County remains COVID-free, at least for now, even as community infections poke at neighboring counties. In the past 24 hours, 133 people have tested positive out of a batch of 3,365, bringing the national tally of COVID-19 cases to 3,727. One person has died and 33 others have since been discharged from hospital. Mombasa County leads with the number of infections with 61 cases, Nairobi 53 cases, Kilifi 7 cases, Busia 6, Kiambu 2, Kajiado, Nakuru, Murang'a and Kitui each recording 1 case.
However, this does not mean that the people of Nyandarua are immune from contracting the virus. Far, far from it. I want to urge the county government and the people of Nyandarua to jealously protect these status that you have. And how can you do this? It's very simple. It is by adherence to the containment measures that have been given by the Ministry of Health.
The national government insisting that the war shall be effectively won when counties step up their capacity to manage asymptomatic cases that could be responsible for a spike in the infections.
And we have seen very many asymptomatic positives even in our community, and others turning positive in their midst. So the possibility of asymptomatic positives shedding the virus to others is still live.
The virus does not move on its own. It is moved by people. If you see any strangers in your locality, report them to your Nyumba Kumi, the sub-chief, the chiefs, the county government, so that you can remain COVID-free.
That's why we are putting every measure, and I'm prepared to reallocate more money to fight COVID and to ensure that our people are safe and support our president in the initiatives that are ongoing. We are putting a 13-bed ICU facility costing 70 million shillings. It's already, you have seen that as the ICU system. The 300 isolation beds was really.
The Health Cabinet Secretary spoke as he and his interior and water counterparts toured a number of government projects in the county.
And I can assure you, the people of Nyandarua, we will not live here without a solution. We have come here with the Inspector General to ensure that we sort out this madness once and for all. And we are also looking at projects in the water and irrigation sector. Nyandarua is about to commission one of the largest sewerage projects.
Matiang'i says the government will deploy a special security team to tame the rising cases of livestock theft and cattle rustling in the region. Bridget Ngana, NTV, Nyandarua County.
The pandemic has no doubt upended lives. Women from pastoral communities who before the pandemic had very little now have much less. Their sources of livelihood have been affected. But now a group of women in Samburu have come together to sew face masks to shield their communities from the virus and their families from hunger. Leila Mohammed reports.
The sound of sewing machines echo in the air. For most,
of the workdays here. The women busy as bees, but quiet as they scrounge for fabric, stitching it together. For 5 days every week, they pull together to meet an urgent need as the coronavirus slows down most of the income generation activities in Laikipia North.
Unajua kwa wakati huu ugonjwa iko yenye imeingia ya corona. Sasa kazi yetu yenye sasa tunaendelesha kwa wakati huu, tuko hapa kushona hizi mabarakoa. Ndio kwa sababu watu wa hapa kwetu ni ngumu sana kwenda upande ule wa town.
Before the pandemic, the women of Koja village in Upper Ewaso in Laikipia North gathered here to make beautiful beads that earn them a modest income. But things haven't been easy the last 3 months.
Wakati tulikuwa tunashona shanga, tulikuwa tukisia wasungu wakati ule walikuwa wanakuja, kwa sababu iko wakati wanakuja na iko wakati wakuji.
Tuliwasha hiyo shida yote ya kupika shanga na kukata makaa. Sasa hiyo group tulisupport sisi yote. Hakuna sehemu tunateseka. Saa hii wakati wa corona ndio tunaona sasa watu wanateseka juu kila mahali imefungwa. Hakuna yenye tunategemea.
Kwa sababu hii ugonjwa imekuja na hatuna uwezo ya kwenda kuleta hii mabarakoa mahali kwingine. Tukajitolea tena pia kuja hapa kushona hii mabarakoa.
Now we have 500 orders that we are making. We have been given the order from Loisaba Conservancy, which is our partner. They've been helping us. They are being our support in terms of women empowering. And our members, all our members, we are making them for free. We are making all our members masks for free. And the mask that the money that we get out of the mask, we distribute. There is a percentage that we give the women. We distribute and share among themselves.
The program intends to create alternative livelihood options so that what they have been depending on is expanded or upscaled so that the children can be able to live in a very meaningful way. So the women group are able to get an income so that the community around is able actually to get protective gear for the masks that they are selling.
The women also sew sanitary undergarments for young girls and women, and now they have a chance to produce even more.
Ndio tusaidie naye kwa sababu iko wasichana ambaye wajiwezi ambaye kwenda kujinunulia mahali. Sasa sisi tukajitolea, tukawashonea, mara zingine tunauza, tukipata hiyo profit yetu.
A woman and a girl from the community have passed also the same challenges, maybe even going to school without pads or something, or even staying at home because of missing the always.
For the women, it's not only an opportunity to protect their community against the ravages of the virus, but also a chance to earn a livelihood. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
Well, their talent certainly hasn't gone to waste. How creative and what beautiful and useful products that will no doubt go a long way. Well, as Kenya neared the 4,000 mark in infected cases, President Uhuru and his family members are thanking their lucky stars after 4 security officers said to be part of the head of state's close quarter protection tested positive for COVID-19. In your Daily Nation tomorrow, also read expert views on COVID-19 and breast milk and why safe nutrition is crucial at this point. And in politics, the battle to save or slay Waiguru begins tomorrow. Plus, WikiLeaks dossier lays bare ODM's well-oiled propaganda machinery, aided by companies, states and influential individuals. Don't miss your copy. Now, Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula has won the first round of the battle for the control of the Ford Kenya party after the High Court ruled stayed further changes to the party's leadership until the case is heard. The orders issued this afternoon by the High Court now give Wetangula new impetus to fight for one of the country's oldest political parties and punish the mutineers. MPs Eseli Simiyu and Wafula Wamunini are now expected to appear before the party tomorrow for disciplinary action, as the Wetangula Axis branded them traitors. Wetangula claims that his ouster had been orchestrated by forces keen to destroy his political career, promising to fight back. All right, we are heading into our second break, but here now is a reminder of how hard the coronavirus has hit some countries around the world. Workers in Manaus, in Brazil, dug a huge mass grave in a cemetery to bury victims of COVID-19. The death toll in Brazil continues to surge, with the country being the hardest hit in Latin America. It has recorded over 43,000 deaths, currently the second highest death toll in the world after the United States of America.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
Kenya is on the rise. It is powered by you. You are innovative. You are passionate about the future. At Stima Sacco, we are a reflection of you. We are a stable, financially sound institution providing tailor-made services to add value to your life, time, and money. We are guided by your aspiration. We are Stima Sacco, a true reflection of you.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, Kuasot every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa. Where you shop matters.
Wakenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
Thanks for staying with us. The business news now, and the Ministry of Industrialisation, Trade and Enterprise Development has published guidelines for business operation in view of COVID-19 and now requires each retail outlet to appoint a person to be responsible for the enforcement of the Ministry of Health guidelines. Judith Cherono now takes a look at the retail sector landscape and how businesses are coping with the adverse effects of COVID-19.
The retail segment of the economy is one of the sectors most adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. According to a survey conducted by the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, 8 out of every 10 businesses in wholesale and retail have been affected by the spillovers of the pandemic. This notwithstanding, the sector continues to attract significant investment. In April 2020, a consortium of investors led by the International Finance Corporation indicated that it was going to acquire a minority stake in Naivas supermarket through a transaction valued at 1.5 billion shillings. Just last week, the Majid Al Futtaim-backed retailer Carrefour opened its 8th store in Nairobi, taking up the prime space which was previously occupied by Nakumatt and sparking a stiff competition to footfall with Naivas, whose outlet is just further down the road. But even as some players are consolidating their footprint, others are tightening their belts in the face of rising headwinds. In April, South African retail chain Shoprite Holdings announced it was laying off 104 staff following closure of its waterfront branch in Karen. On May 20th, 2020, through his Twitter handle, Tuskys Chief Executive Officer Dan Githue indicated that the retailer had negotiated with suppliers to reschedule payments amidst rising speculation that the chain was confronting cash flow challenges. In July 2017, the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Cooperatives published a report on Kenya's retail sector with a focus on delayed payments on the back of the collapse of Nakumatt.
As the sector now grapples with the COVID-19 shock, all eyes will be on the resilience of its players. Judith Cherono, NTV, Nairobi.
Kwale-based mining company Base Titanium has stepped up its food distribution program in Kwale and parts of Mombasa County. The firm maintains that it is running the distribution of relief supplies in 4 phases so as to cushion vulnerable households from the pangs of the coronavirus pandemic. NTV's Coast Region reporter Kevin Mutai visited some of the distribution centres.
The first phase of food distribution program was launched by Base Titanium in April 2020, where the mining company donated over 50 tons of assorted food items to Kwale County government. The program came in handy, especially for thousands of vulnerable families which have been affected by the coronavirus pandemic. Locals from the 25 villages situated near the mining sites were among the first beneficiaries.
Katika hii furushi kuna chakula cha kutosha familia watu 5-7 hivi kukaa nyumbani kwa muda wa kutosha, kwa sababu ndani kuna unga wa mahindi, unga wa ngano, mchele, sukari, majani chai, chumvi na hata zile towels za wanawake ama sanitary pads.
Over 300 families from 4 villages in Mombasa's Likoni sub-county also benefited from the donations. The COVID-19 isolation center in Likoni also received 1,345 kilograms of the food rations in a bid to sustain those quarantined in the facility.
Hali ilikuwa ngumu, hata saa zingine unakosa kitu ya kutia mdomoni kwa sababu tumeambiwa tukae ndani ya nyumba. Sasa inabidi tukae ndani ya nyumba, mabiashara pia tumefunga.
Sasa penye nilikuwa nafanya ikakuja ikafungwa kwa sababu ya corona. Sasa kuanzia wakati huu maisha imekuwa ni ngumu. Hata mtoto mwenyewe ndio atoka aende nyumbani ilikuwa ni shida, ilibidi niende hata kuomba watu fare ndio waweze kutravel. Mimi nimekuwa na shida, family imekuwa na shida, tumekuwa hatuna kitu chochote cha ukura kabisa.
The mining company has also installed hand washing units across the densely populated areas, as well as distributing personal protective equipment to health facilities to help in the fight against the unseen enemy.
Sasa takriban matangi 60 tumeweka na bado tunaendelea. Kando na hizo tangi kubwa kubwa, pia tuna tank ndogo ndogo za lita 100 ambazo tutaweka katika public institutions kuweza kusaidia kama maofisi ya chifu kule ambako tunajua bado huduma za peanwa kwa wanajamii.
The company says it has mapped the most vulnerable members of the community who will be targeted in the 4-phase program of distributing the relief supplies. Under phase 2, the farm donated 39 tons of the food items.
Kuna village administrator, assistant chief, wazee wa mtaa, watu washiriki wa viongozi wa kanisa waweze kutambua kwa hizo list baadhi yao mahali wanaishi kwa kila mtaa ni wagani ambao ya most vulnerable.
Kila gatuzi ndogo kuna COVID-19 response committee. Pia nayo tunakaa na wao.
Hii kwangu ni muujiza sababu si kutarajia hii. Hii ni muujiza tena, nashukuru kwa sababu hii ndio justice. Sababu sasa hawa ni watu wamefanya usawa. hawajapagua huyu.
During phase 3 of the program, over 3,000 kilograms of food items were distributed to families in Msambweni and Likoni sub-counties, with each area receiving 2,500 kilograms and 500 kilograms respectively. Over 2,000 families in Kinondo, Ukunda and Gombato Bongwe wards have benefited. These are the areas where the COVID-19 sub-county committee says has a majority of locals who depended on the tourism industry for a living.
Utalii unategemea watu kusafiri, na usafiri both locally na international imesimamishwa. Kwa hivyo utapata baadhi ya mahoteli yote imefungwa, na pia wale washirika ambao wanafanya biashara ambazo zina support the tourism sector kama watu wa curious, watu wa safari sellers, tour drivers, na wale na wao wote wamekuwa wekwa bila kazi.
We are here today to distribute food to commercial sex workers, to distribute food to those people who are working in the massage industry and any tourism related business.
Nimejaribu kazi zote hata zenye nilikuwa sifanyi, kama ni kuuza baka mgoka nimejaribu ndio niweze kuwatafutia, lakini ikawa haiwezekani. Kwa hivyo sahihi naweza sema maisha ni ngumu sana kwa kila mmoja, na nikidhani ni Kenya nzima, si hapa Kwale peke yake.
Hii kampuni mimi ndashukuru, sijui best nashukuru, hasa mimi nikipata mtoto wangu anakuwa sawa, mimi nitakuwa sawa, na kampuni barikiwe.
The next phase is expected to cover over 4,000 families from Matuga, Msambweni and Lungalunga in Kwale County.
Mwezi wa 8 wakati tutakuwa hii awamu maybe sasa tunaikunja, ndio tuelete awamu nyingine kama COVID-19 itakuwepo.
Kwale County is among the regions in the coastal strip where the ban on movement had been effected to stem the spread of the disease, but the government lifted the restrictions due to the declining number of new infections. Now, the county's Emergency Response Committee on COVID-19 is putting in place guidelines as businesses prepare to reopen. Kevin Mutai, NTV, Kwale County.
Co-to Secretary General Francis Atwoli has urged the government to accelerate the resumption of local flights. Atwoli says this will help resuscitate the tourism sector, which has suffered a significant hit from the COVID-19 pandemic. Atwoli has also added his voice to the call for the extension of the hours of operation for businesses in the hospitality sector.
We want Kenya government to consider opening up local flights so that we can have people flying to Mombasa and back, flying to Kisumu and back, flying to those other areas. And lastly, Kenya government and Ugandan government should think about the plight of long-distance drivers.
The Capital Markets Authority, that's the CMA, has flagged the dominance of 5 companies, including Safaricom, in the 65 stock Nairobi bourse as a big risk, with the performance of their shares dictating whether the market goes up or down on any given day. For this and more business news, get your copy of the Business Daily tomorrow. Next up, it's the financials.
NTV Financial Report in association with PesaLink.
Select PesaLink on your bank app or USSD. Step 2. Select either send to phone or send to account. Step 3. Input the phone number or account number to send money to and confirm the transaction. PesaLink. Easy, affordable, instant.
All right, we're about to take a breather, and it's time to breathe a sigh of relief after this little bit of good news. Rescued from a farmer's fish pond, a young pangolin released back into China's wilderness was hailed as a small victory in the battle to save the critically endangered animal. The freeing of the scaly creature came after Beijing's Forestry and Grassland Administration granted the world's most trafficked mammal similar protections to that of giant pandas. Pangolins are poached for their meat and scales. At this point, we take a break. More when we return.
This new pack is available in all leading supermarkets and outlets. It's still the same flour. Pembe yangu ni poa.
The Kenya Film Commission is glad to announce that the third edition of My Kenya, My Story mobile phone film competition received over 250 submissions. The call for submissions closed on the 3rd of June 2020. From the submissions, 20 top films will be shortlisted for public voting. You are encouraged to watch and vote for your favorite short film, which will be done by the Kenya Film Commission YouTube platform. The winner of Best Short Film will walk away with 200,000 shillings, while the first and second runners-up will receive 150,000 shillings and 100,000 shillings respectively. Voting runs from the 16th of June 2020 through to the 26th of June 2020. The winners will be announced on the 30th of June 2020. Kenya Film Commission. Film Kenya. Capture Africa.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Martha Mwaigacho. Before niende training, Kenya ambacho nilikuwa nikifanya mtani, nilikuwa nikihustle nilikuwa nikiuza viatu vya Kiswahili. Nilijua na toolkit kupitia Big Ship ambayo inatoka Mikinani. After that toolkit ndio ikatupeleka Nita. Nikaitwa nikaenda Agol. Nilipoanza Agol, I got myself interested with scaffolding. Kanza scaffolding, I was the first lady. There was some challenges I used to pass through. Nilikuwa nikiambiwa nibebe materials, but kivyangu mimi nikajitia moyo nikasema no. Sitakuwa mtu wa kubeba materials. Nitakuwa mtu nataka kukua fundi. Right now I can go to 16 meters. I can walk. I'm ready for everything.
Wa Kenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
Welcome back. Private hospitals now want to be included in the COVID-19 mass testing exercise in what they say will augment government efforts in curbing the disease. The Ministry of Health has tested more than 100,000 samples since the first confirmed case was reported in the country back in March. COVID-19 coordinator at Nairobi West Hospital, that's Dr. Peter Kibet Shikuku, says that health facilities have upgraded the capacities and can play a crucial role in the fight against the disease.
Should that be allowed? And we think we can be able to do this through the various partnerships that the government has advanced in the past. If the government waived, for example, for some of the test kits and provided within the facility, this can be done. And we can create mechanisms of partnerships. That way we can escalate testing and make testing a lot better.
Right, from that, we shift focus to the sports news next, but have a look at this alarming arrival of green algae in Brittany in France. There are 141 sites in Brittany where green algae has arrived. And while it is actually a natural phenomenon, it is also linked to human activity. Now, it occurs when nitrate in freshwater rivers come to mix with seawater, which creates a green algae, which ends up being the end result. Oh dear, have a look at that. Sea of sludge indeed. The sports news with Brian is up next.
We are a reflection of you. We are a stable, financially sound institution providing tailor-made services to add value to your life, time and money. We are guided by your aspiration. We are Stima Sacco, a true reflection of you.
Change can be disruptive, but Business Daily has got you covered. Get evolving market trends, ingenious business ideas, and the latest tech content in the new market dynamic and exciting lifestyle content in the new normal environment. Business Daily. More possibilities.
Do you honestly believe that she isn't Anna? Don't do anything until we know exactly what is happening.
There's nothing wrong with my wife resembling someone else. What's wrong is she's being accused of something.
What Anna did must be really horrible.
She's nothing but a traitor. He's provoking you. And she's a gold digger.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
Let's have a look at the day's sports news. Welcome, my name is Brian Otwal. Kenya Basketball Federation as well as the Volleyball Federation can now breathe a sigh of relief after the renovation program at the Nyeri National Stadium was shifted from the main arena to the indoor gymnasium. The arena that plays host to basketball league matches is slowly picking a different face with seats fitted on the stands. Take a look. When it rains, it pours. The deplorable state of the roof at the Nyeri Indoor Arena that leaks, letting in water in torrents, only serving to hurt the hope of a win in a game. That is the condition that the Kenya Basketball Federation and other federations that hold their games at the indoor gymnasium have had to deal with in the past, with games having to be stopped or cancelled altogether. However, that could change with the arena receiving a facelift, so far the fan zone being fitted with seats.
Technically, I'm so much impressed by the way they've done the seating arrangements. All what now we are just looking for is the clock. The clock is where we have a problem. And if they can manage to make it, then we'll be good to go.
With the facelift at Nyayo National Stadium's main arena nearing completion, more needs to be done to the gymnasium that has no proper locker rooms for teams to change. Poor lighting with a scoreboard that needs upgrading.
When this thing, Corona, gets away, I think we'll be in a position to enjoy the basketball game where we had left it.
The facility has once hosted international events, the latest being the Afro Basketball pre-qualifying tournament that Kenya came out top. It was the first time Kenya was hosting a major competition since 1993. The arena could not handle the number of fans, with Kenya getting away with a near ban for flouting crowd control procedures.
Most of our players and fans come from within the area, so it's very easy and accessible as compared to Kasarani. And two teams and our players are used to playing and training at Nyayo as compared to Kasarani. So that's the more advantages. And also with Nyayo, it's easier being filled as compared to Kasarani.
Renovations will serve to impact positively on Kenya's performance in international competitions. Most accomplished Kenyan basketball players, among them Tyler Okari and America-based duo of Cliff Gatonyi and Peter Gikanya, who were molded by the not-so-up-to-par facility. Meanwhile, the Kenyan Basketball Federation League that is yet to begin this season is hoping for a September return in a bid to conform to the world governing body FIBA calendar. The swimming pool area at the Nyayo National Stadium is set to be completed in the coming weeks, with seats also fitted at the handball and volleyball courts. Staying on the stadium renovation, Wote Stadium, which is located on the outskirts of Wote town in Makueni County, will be completed for use by December 2020. This is according to Sports CS Ambassador Amina Mohammed. The stadium that is to be constructed at a cost of 350 million shillings had stalled due to lack of resources. The CS has given an assurance that funds have been paid to the contractor, who is already on site. The CS, however, refuted claims that the facility had stalled due to divisive politics. It is projected that the stadium will have a hosting capacity of between 15,000 and 20,000 people.
So mwezi wa 10 tutakuja hapa ili tuifungue hii kwanza, alafu tuende kwingine tufungue zile zingine ambazo zitakuwa tayari mwezi wa 11 na 12. Ndio tukifika mwisho wa mwaka huu tutakuwa na kadhaa ambazo zitatusaidia kusema kweli, zitatusaidia kuendesha zile sports zetu katika county kadhaa zilizo katika nchi yetu.
And Nairobi City Stars defender Wesley Onguso has urged football players to invest while at their prime in their career in preparation for uncertain future. The former Gor Mahia defender revealed that he started the motorcycle business commonly known as Boda Boda 5 years ago, refuting claims that he is broke from effects of coronavirus. The pandemic that has halted sports in the country and globally has made him focus more on his business as his source of income. Joshua Makori caught up with him, and this is his story.
Onguso alianza soka kitambo kiasi akiwa mdogo kwa sababu hii mtaa ya Kawangware ndiye amezaliwa, ndiye ameishi. So at around 99 to 2000 hapo ndio sasa alianza kucheza mpira ile ya ploti hizo vitu kadhaa. So at 2002 2001 to 2002 hapo World Cup ikakam. So World Cup kukam, so tukaendoko tukajoin as academy, tukacheza, tukaanza kuwa hapo, tukaanza kujua ball.
KPL umechezea timu gani na gani?
Madhare, Sofapaka, Posta, my favorite Western Steamer, Gor Mahia. Na sasa City Star yenye tumepanda sasa.
Wakati wako ukiwa Gor Mahia, unaukumbukaje ule wakati?
Ilikuwa ni time poa kwa sababu hatima mchezaji yeyote Kenya ni kutaka kuchezea Gor Mahia kwa sababu Gor Mahia ndio team big Kenya na FC na the like of Tusker, Sofapaka. But mimi niko na luck, nimechezea Gor Mahia na bado nikachukua taji nikiwa mchezaji, so nikitupoa sana.
Behalf of course the team, so Shekava receives it from Raila Amolo Odinga, the honorable.
Huu msimu wa corona, soka hamna chochote kinachoendelea. Wewe kama mchezaji umeathirika kivipi?
Imekuwa ni worldwide, imetupatia challenges more. Kwanza kumiss hiyo ball, unajua hiyo bonde ya wachezaji ma teammate, kucheza hizo magame, kutravel na tuwezi.
Kwa sasa unafanya nini?
Sasa niko tu mtaani, but at times so kuna NGO fulani ilikuwa imekaa huku mtaani inajiita Shofco, ilikam na ikakuwa inasaidia, ina help mitaa. So at the time nikaona that wale wa madha wenye wana work na Shofco inakuwa ni ugumu maybe kuendea hizo product walikuwa wanapeana, because walikuwa wanapeana sabuni na sanitizers. So nikaona madha wanapata wakati mgumu sana kuendea those products kuzileta kwa village hii kijiji yetu na kusupply. So mimi nikaona since niko na bike kadhaa, nikasema nichukue moja niweze kusimamisha driver mmoja kazi, nikachukua mimi mwenyewe niende nichukue, ni volunteer nisaidie hao madha kusupply, pia mimi niweze at least kujikeep busy, kwa sababu sasa hii kukaa pia haisaidii. na ijapokuwa ile mazoezi yenye tutatumiwa na team tunafanya, so unajua huwezi fanya the whole day. And again tunaweka kuja hii my employees JJF, Jonathan Jackson Foundation, nao wako na the same organization hiyo program, so nimekuwa nikijiengage na hizo shughuli na at least kuelimisha wasi wale wa mtaa yangu, vijana kama hawa wadogo wanacheza ball, at least wakiona Onguso na do something kama hii, nao wanaazimio that wacha hata sisi tukifikia kama Onguso, hata sisi tutafanya kitu kama hii kwa community. So hiyo ndio shughuli nimekuwa nikido for the entire time, hii time ya period ya COVID. Kuna scenario happen on Saturday. Ili happen on Saturday Kefwa, at the time nilikuwa na work na hii NGO ya Shofco. Kefwa walikuja wakaona that Onguso kuna kitu anadu kwa community. Kefwa tukateka an interview nao, ikakuwa because mimi ni mmondo wa Kefwa. So Kefwa kuchukua hiyo ika-post on Saturday early morning, ika-post about the story to be coming. The journalist huyo mwenye anashughulikia Tuko Sports akaenda akatoa hiyo picha pale, akaiweka kwa Tuko. Ikakuwa yeye ndiye alikuwa ni kama akai-create like yeye ndiye alikuwa kwa ground na Onguso, that Onguso ni kama amesare ball, siku hizi anafanya boda, unaona. Alichukulia on a wrong angle, hakuichukua venye ile information ilikuwa pale kwa Kefwa.
Just a quick update also, CAF has confirmed Gor Mahia as Kenya's representatives in the CAF Champions League for 2020-2021 season after they were shortlisted for that league. Already qualified teams. On that note, we end our sports. We play again tomorrow. Have a lovely night. My name is Brian Otwal.
All right, Brian, thank you. And thanks to all of you for watching NTV tonight. Zainab Ismail will be on tomorrow, so do be sure to join her. And thanks to Flora Atieno, our sign language interpreter. Bye-bye.
This is NTV.